Happy New Year and welcome to 2020. Wishing you and yours all the best as we enter into this new year. My name is Scott Beck, and for those of you that don't know me, I run an IT cybersecurity firm based in Canada, co-starred in the Amazon Prime movie called Cybersecurity. I've been touring around North America talking about security and helping educate people. And I've been asked by a bunch of different folks to maybe start putting out some tips and tricks on what you can be doing to try to secure yourself, or what's happening in the trends that we're seeing, and what can people actually do to help try to protect themselves in this always on digitally connected world. And I thought, all right, I will take the feedback. Putting together a new book this year that's going to be coming out, so we'll keep you up to date on that. But I decided I'd start doing this Security with Scott. These quick little blurbs on a daily basis, or try to be a daily basis anyways, to try to share some wealth of information out to you. So with the holidays having passed, I know a lot of people have gotten themselves some new phones or new tablets or some new things to play with. So a couple of tips for you with your new devices. Make sure that you're going to put a passcode on them, okay? You can use a PIN number or a password, facial scan, a fingerprint, or maybe a combination of all of those. I know in my household with grandchildren and stuff coming around, we'll have some tablets that multiple people will use, so we'll just use a PIN code on that. But for your phone, especially if you're using it for business purposes, make sure to be using a PIN and not be sharing that out. Maybe, as I said, use that fingerprint or facial scan. App downloads. Now, this is really important. It really doesn't matter whether you have an iPhone or an Android, although Androids tend to have more options for downloading software. Only download your software for your phones and your tablets from the actual stores of your vendors. So the Apple Store or Google Play. All right, because if someone's giving you some software from another website, hasn't been validated yet. Now, I'm not saying that people can't get bad software into the good stores. It's happened. Not often, but it has happened. But the chances are much smaller for people to hide some bad stuff in their software when it's going through the Apple or the Google store. Make sure to turn on your Find My Phone feature. Okay, so you have an idea where the phone is at. Now, this is really good if you've given the phones to maybe teenagers or younger folks. If you have that turned on, not saying that you necessarily want to be doing it for this reason, although it's helpful, you can actually have an idea of where they're at and track what's going on. And when you're surfing around on the internet, especially on devices that you're sharing, make sure to use the incognito or the private mode, depending if you're using Apple or Android. If you do that, when you close your session, it'll automatically delete any of the cookies and information from that session out. And one last tip, if you're a traveler, much like I have done, you're in the airport or you're at the free coffee shop, do not do private banking, credit card, anything that's super sensitive. You don't want to be doing that on a public or free Wi-Fi. If you're stuck having to do that, make sure to use something that's called a VPN or virtual private network, and that'll help keep your information protected and away from the hackers. So I want to thank you for coming along for episode 1, the first edition, and we'll see how this plays out. And, I'll never get better looking, but maybe the quality will get a little bit different as we move along with Scott on Security. And we keep putting these out on a daily basis, and I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy the journey and pick up some tips and tricks as well as we go along. And we're going to try to keep your money in your pockets and out of the pockets of the hackers. Thank you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.